Good evening, everyone. Good evening to YouTube. Well, no, YouTube over here, Instagram Live over here. We are live on Sim Racing Nigeria, and we are just about to get started trying out some Le Mans Ultimate uh, new racing title, not game. I didn't say game. New racing title that is just launched today. Now, obviously, I've not been able to try this out, and this is my first time going to try it. Now, if you want to see footage of me racing, then head over to the YouTube page, Sim Racing Nigeria. But if you just want to see my lovely face, which I know many of you don't, well, you can stay here with me. But the actual gameplay will be shown live on YouTube as well. But we're here as well because I know we've got followers on Sim Racing Nigeria on the Instagram page. Actually, hang on. I am streaming from Shekska. I should be streaming this from Sim Racing Nigeria. Please search Sim Racing Nigeria, go to Sim Racing Nigeria, and I'll be streaming from there, not from my personal. This is not supposed to come from my personal. So go over to Sim Racing Nigeria. You'll find me there. All right, I'm going to log off this now. Sorry, YouTube, you've got to hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me switch this over. So I'm going to stop this live. How do you stop a live? I know how to use the internet. Yes, end video. There we go. So, and I will save that for the sake of it. Okay, I'll come back and sort that out later. Now we need to be on Sim Racing Nigeria. Can't switch while you're uploading something. Okay. Instagram will have to wait for the moment while that last video is saved. But what we will do now, no, I think we should wait for the Instagram guys. While we're waiting, I'll just talk you through a little bit of my fascination with Le Mans. I think I first found out about what Le Mans was back in 1998 or 1999 when Audi, a brand that I have been crazy about for a long time, was just about to start competing in Le Mans. And bear with me a second, we're about to get Sim Racing Nigeria on Instagram Live. So we're going live now. 3, 2, 1. And we are live on Instagram. Okay, I've got Instagram back now. Sorry I started this on my personal account, but we're here now on Instagram, Sim Racing Nigeria. We're about to start a tryout of Le Mans Ultimate, and I was just speaking to the YouTube guys, telling them where my interest in Le Mans started. It was 1998 or 1999. I was doing A levels at the time, and I came to know about this motorsport race that held every year at the beginning of summer. Is June the beginning of summer? Yeah, thereabout. And these fantastic cars, were racing, and I remember seeing images of Peter Dumbrek, I think, taking off in his Mercedes-Benz CLR CLK GTR1, literally going down one of the straights at Le Mans, and the car literally just took off. It was like an aeroplane. Honestly, that was crazy. But the following year, I think it was, Audi won that. And then Audi started this massive run of winning Le Mans, and they just did amazingly well. I was so excited, so fascinated, because I was a complete Audi freak. And so when this title, the official 24 hours of Le Mans game, uh, that's what it says here. That's what I'm reading. I don't call these things games. They're not games for me. But when this title was going to come out, I was so excited, so pumped. I can't wait to try it out. And yes, today is the launch day. I've purchased it since 12 noon. But of course, you can't get started until you finished work, right? So here we are. We're going to try it. If you want to see the gameplay, head over to the YouTube page, Sim Racing Nigeria. Just search for it. It will come up. And I know I called it a game. I'm sorry. It's not a game. It's not a game. It's not a game. Head over to the YouTube page and you will see gameplay of Le Mans Ultimate, the official 24 hours of Le Mans title, right? So head over to YouTube if you want to watch that. But if you want to just listen to me, see my reactions, maybe listen to the sounds, or if you can't get to YouTube, that's fine. I'll be here until I finish trying this out. So I'm kind of nervous, you know. I've been waiting for this for a while, but yeah, let's just go in. Let's just go in and let's see. I'm just gonna make sure that my stream is running. I like to do these checks before I get started, so that I don't do a whole stream and then find that I've recorded nothing. That's happened to me before, and it's not fun. So just bear with me a second. I'm just gonna head over to YouTube, make sure everything is working, even though it should be. And yeah, I can see that I'm live. Do a whole stream and then find that I can hear my voice. So I'm just going to close YouTube. And that's good. So I'm going to put my headset on and we're going to get into Le Mans Ultimate. All right, so let's do this. All right, here we go. Okay, don't mess me up now. I haven't tried this yet, so let's just hope, fingers crossed, it works, right? I have not opened this title at all. So let's just see. Touch wood. I need some wood. Yes. My racing rig is built of wood. I built it myself. I've got a dashboard on my racing rig. Let's show you on Instagram what I'm racing on. This is my racing simulator here. I've got a Moza R5 wheelbase. I've got an Audi TT dashboard. I need to put some clocks in here and a display in here, and then we'll really be popping. So it looks like Le Mans Ultimate is coming up. If you're on Instagram and you can see, if you're on YouTube, I beg your pardon, and you can see, you'll see that yes, it is working. And we've got sound, and it's really nice. Okay, this is, I'm super excited now. Yeah, super excited. So, okay. Connecting to race control, unable to reach race control. Online features will be unavailable. I think that is what we were told from the beginning, that there will be no online features in the beginning. First of all, let me say thank you to everybody that's watching. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. So let's continue. Online features will be unavailable. Continue. So need to put in my name, Shegun Akin Olubade, and my nationality, Nigeria for life. So Nigeria. See, I just love it when you can drive as Nigerian. You can drive as Nigerian in a racing simulator. You don't need to accept any random country that they have allowed you to race in. You can actually drive as Nigerian. So I've just had a question. What game? They're not games, but just kidding. We're racing in Le Mans Ultimate tonight. It's a new title that has just launched today. If you want to see the gameplay, head over to the YouTube stream. Okay, so I've chosen my nationality. Yes, it's asking for my email. I agree to competition rules and all of that. I'll put my email. Shagun at simracing.ng. I agree. No, okay, I've already agreed to that. Okay. Continue. And look, let's start. Okay, should I go beginner, intermediate, or expert? I'm not an expert. And I'm not quite a beginner, so let's go intermediate, right? I know some aliens that will go straight into expert and they'll be alright. We're not there yet. Alright, so let's go. Okay, so this determines what sort of assists you get. AI is medium, damage simulation is medium, driving line is pit and pad is only in the pit and paddock. Okay, auto shift is on. We need to change that. I don't want it to gear up for me. Okay, I should be able to change it, to sort that out later. Brake assist medium. I don't want brake assist. I don't want steering. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna try expert. I'm gonna try expert. And then I'm gonna go back into the options and change the AI difficulty. No, you know what? Let's just go expert. Let's do it as it is, because can't be racing with brake assist and with steering assist. Yeah, all right. Push any button to start. Right. So look, this looks really exciting. I love the presentation. I love the colors. And it's just really nice. You know what? I'm gonna try. Actually, I'm gonna let you see some of what I can see. Right? Okay. So this is what we've got here. This, I mean, I like the visuals. This is nice. You know. So we've got race weekend. We've got online. We've got my profile, settings, and credits. So if you have any sense, before you enter any racing simulator that you've never raced in before, what you want to do is go into the settings and just see what the keyboard, what's not the keyboard, what the controls are. So we can see some of these now, and we're talking, okay, difficulty, we don't want that. Auto clutch, yes, leave that on. Steering help, off. Opposite lock, off. Braking help, no. Invulnerability, no. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is fine. Now, controls. Right, okay, I need my two hands for this. And okay, steer left is what it is. Yeah. Steer right is what it is. Yeah, that's fine. Throttle is that one. That's correct. Brake, that's correct. And clutch, that's correct. Shift up, yes. Shift down. Shift to neutral. Shift to neutral. I've never had a... Okay, I've got a neutral button here, so I'm going to use the end button on my Moza R5 because it says neutral. Okay, and this is got a conflict with my traction control. Okay, that's fine. Driving camera, I'm gonna use the cam button for that. Yes, that's fine. Request pit stop. I'm going to use box for that. Then we have the multifunction display rather. So I'm gonna use right for for next and left for previous. Navigate up should be up, navigate down should be down. Then the increment settings for the multifunctional display. There's so much here, one just wants to get racing. What should I put this on? I'm just trying to think, what should I set this as? Okay, you know what, I'm gonna set this as this one. Increment setting is PL, confirm, and decrement setting is that one. Okay, I don't need a setting for look right and look left. Okay, car controls, ignition, speed limiter, I will use that one, and headlights. This is starting to get much. I don't know if I'll have enough buttons here. Headlights, S1. I'll put that one on S1. No, I can't. No, hold on. Okay, so I can't have that. So you can have a secondary button, and okay. Tell you what, give me a second. I'm gonna come back here. Request pit stop. I'm gonna change that to the radio button, and then we'll come back here. Car controls. Speed limiter, change that to the box button, and then headlight pulse, I'll change it to that, and I'll change headlights to Y, confirm, and then wipers, I'll put X, then ignition R, because that's what I use in ACC, and starter, that one. Okay, traction control increase, I'll put on B, decrease A, I'll leave all of that. Brake bias I will set. There's no ABS. Okay, so I won't set anything here. Camera, driving camera. So I have a camera button here, don't I? Yes, I do. That was a mistake, sorry. Driving camera. Okay, that's fine. So change driving cameras, that's fine. So I'll leave that as it is. I'm not going to set anything here. I'll just leave that alone. Then let's come to calibrate. So okay, that's fine. Right, just calibrating our throttle. That's good. Brake is fine. Clutch is fine. It's like we're testing a car before we drive. Okay, I think this is fine. Last thing I'm gonna just check is my force feedback. So force feedback effects on, yes. Torque capability is 5. Okay, I'm not sure what some of these things are, but my strength is on. I don't want any soothing. My strength is 100%. Let's make that 9. Let's make that 85. No, let's make that. Let's go 100%. All right. Okay. Okay, so we've not changed anything here. That's fine. All right, so let's back up. Right, so we're gonna try race weekend and see what we've got in here. Okay, so where do we want to race? The original Circuit de la Sarthe, the home of Le Mans, 24-hour race. Do we want to go Sebring? Do we want to try Algarve in Portugal, Portimao? This is a track I know from other titles. Doesn't quite look like that though. Oh, Spa-Francorchamps. I don't know. Let's see. Or Monza, Fuji Speedway, or Bahrain. You know what? Let's keep it kosher. Let's do the 24-hour track and then hypercar. So you can either go GTE, LMP2, or hypercar. The hypercars are the cars that we know most commonly identified with Le Mans. Then the Le Mans Prototype 2 is a little bit different. It's closed cockpit and there's no production requirement on that car. But the Le Mans GTE, I believe there's some manufacturing requirement. But anyway, it's called the Le Mans Grand Touring Endurance. These are what we identify as GT3 cars. They look more GT3 than anything. So these are slower, and they are probably the cheapest real-world way to get into Le Mans. These are normally cars that are already in production. Your Ferraris, your Aston Martins. You can have Bentleys in there. I don't know. Bentley is not. We've not seen them in GT3 racing for a few years. But you know, let's try the hypercars. Okay. So continue, and there are some interesting cars here. We've got the Cadillac. We've got Ferrari. Oh, that looks nice though. What is this? Glickenhaus. Okay, it's interesting. Peugeot. These cars look wild, man. These cars look mean. These Peugeots look mean. And we've got the Porsches, which, you know, my heart is thinking that might be it. And then we've got the Toyotas, which we all know, Gazoo Racing, there's the Gazoo Racing GR010. And then we've got the Floyd Van Wall Racing Team. Don't know who these guys are, but okay, looks interesting. Tell you what, I'm going to go and pick up a Porsche. All right, let's try and see how this goes. So we've got practice, qualifying, race. I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna do a full 12-hour race. Yeah, we'll just start a 1-hour practice session and just see how it goes. I mean, the times that this thing is suggesting, 13 hours of racing, you've got to be mad. I mean, that's That's epic stuff. I'm not racing for 13 hours today. So let's just get this car out onto the road and see what it's like. So far, I have to say I love the visuals. It looks, I mean, the screen pops out at me. It's really nice. I've got a 34-inch ultra wide screen. Um, it's 2560 or 2540, I can't remember, by 1080. So it's not 1440p. It's not a 4K screen. It's a 1080p screen. But it still pops. It's really nice. This title is not yet got VR capability, so that's something that will be really interesting to try out once it's available. But then the question is, what will the system requirements be? Because I've only got a GTX 1080 graphics card, so we will have to look at that and see. I can just about get with poor to medium settings in ACC on my VR headset. Anything more than that, if you go try and do epic or even just good or high, whatever it's called, I can't remember, you get some pretty bad results. It just starts skipping and all of that mess. So it's taking a bit of time to load. 51%. And am I supposed to do a sing song now? Do a hop skip? I don't know. So I've had some conversations in our sim racing community. By the way, if you're not part of the community and you love motorsport, you want to be around people who are motorsport aficionados, motorsport fans, you can search for Sim Racing Nigeria. Hey, Peter, how far? I just seen you there. Yes, I'm not gonna do a hop skip. No, nothing like that. So yeah, if you're not a member of Sim Racing Nigeria, go well. Start by checking us out on Instagram. We're here on Instagram now. So if you're on YouTube and you're not on our Instagram, follow us on Instagram. And on Instagram, on our bio, you'll see the link for Sim Racing Nigeria's WhatsApp community. Join the community. We'd be very, very pleased to have you. There's a whole lot of banter there, and then we arrange things like this. And we also try, I'll be honest with you, we try to arrange races, but we are held back by numbers. So a normal race weekend, apart from F1 does really well. When we arrange F1 races, we get 6, 7 people, sometimes 10 people racing, and that's really good. But on a regular basis, I think we struggle with numbers because most guys that want to race simply can't get hold of equipment. I've got something really, really interesting that I'm working on. I will save that for another video because I don't want to go into that too much. But we try to arrange races for the people that have equipment, and we try to get on the track regularly. When we can't, we just stay in touch. We just share our passion for motorsport, share videos, share things that are interesting in the motorsport world, and it's a place where you can be safe to talk about cars, talk about racing, and just be passionate, really. That we've got lots of people that have come and said that they didn't know anything like this existed, and we've also got people that have been racing in solitude, and now they are able to share with other people, and this is what the community is all about. Sim Racing Nigeria is all about bringing motorsport to the Nigerian community in a really, really bite-sized kind of way. You can get involved for a lot less financial outlay than buying a race car and going to track. So yes, the equipment is expensive. You can spend thousands of pounds if you want, or you can spend hundreds of pounds, but the equipment is still expensive. However, it's a lot cheaper than buying a race car and booking a racetrack, booking Monza for even half an hour, that's not cheap. And half an hour is never enough. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. You're talking about booking a racetrack for hours and being able to get out onto track and really enjoy racing. So sim racing democratizes motorsport, allows more people to be involved, and it's so much more than gaming. It's not a game. I don't think it's a game. I think it's real motorsport. I feel excited when I'm racing, and sometimes when I'm racing, I start to sweat because you're really exerting yourself and you're really going at it. So the more ultimate is disappointing me on the first day. I mean, this you can see how long we've been talking, and if you're watching the stream on YouTube, you will see that this thing is only just on 99%. After you choose your car, you choose your track, choose all the settings for the race you want to do, it then takes almost 5 minutes to get you started in a race. That's not cool. I don't think that's cool. So that would be my first bit of feedback. If we can fix that, not we, I mean, I guess, well, yes, we, because we who started, who got it first, we are kind of like beta testers, and I guess if we can help to improve things, that would be my first suggestion of something that I'm not too pleased with. So here I am in the start of my session. Practice 60 minutes, which I'm only going to do. I'm not going to go into qualifying or the race. I can't race for that long tonight. But you can start next session, which is you can go straight to qualifying. You can watch, right? Or you can start driving. So let's click on watch and see what we can see. Okay, nothing is happening. Normally when you're watching, you can choose the cars that you want to watch. You can get into other cars' cockpits and you can follow the car around the track. But when I chose watch, I've literally got no options to go from one place to the next, from one car to the next, see what other racers are doing and all of that. So I'm just gonna press escape there, and let's jump in and start driving. Why not? Right, so I'm now trying to start. And there's no response. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I guess because it's a hybrid. Okay, so the force feedback is quite intense. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is change my screen, all right? So okay, so this is quite interesting because intense, actually. Oh my goodness. Ah! All right, so I needed to start braking a lot sooner than I did. But this is quite intense. The car is fast, and you can feel that it's fast. Oh my goodness, this is right. So I'm literally having to put in all of my upper body strength into holding this wheel. The force feedback is too much, and I think if you, first of all, if you're not working out, and if you're not used to high force feedback driving, look, I've got an R5. That's 5.5 Newton meters of torque. Just imagine that there's an R9, there's an R12, there's an R16, and there's an R21. So 5.5 Newton meters, you can go double, you can go triple, you can quadruple that actually, you know. So it makes you start to think that, okay, I want to take sim racing seriously. So that means I need to start going to the gym. I'm confused. So I don't know how all that works, right? But for this, I think I'm gonna turn the force feedback down a bit. It is too much. Oh, too much. Kilo day. You know, you are playing game, and then the game is shaking you. Oh my goodness. So let's dial that force feedback strength down to about, let's start with 85 and see how that works. Okay. Um, so resume. Okay. Jeez, man. No, this is this game is intense. And oh, so I don't know if, okay, so if you're watching the if you're watching the if you're watching the YouTube live, I was literally heading down one of the straights full speed. The car clipped a, I don't know, a bad piece of road, and literally lost control. And that just feels really real to me, right? And okay, so I haven't seen much of that yet, but you've got to be able to understand how to set up your car for the tracks you're driving on, so that you can adjust your springs, adjust your dampers, so that they can accept undulations on the road, right? If your springs are too hard, your dampers are too strong, right? You're going to experience some very, very harsh uh, uh, feedback from the road, and you will lose control. And that's what I've just experienced. It's absolutely insanely real, right? Um, I still think the force feedback is too much. And this is an R5 and it's currently on 85%. So what are we saying, that we need to be driving on 60, 70%? I don't know. In ACC, I drive on 90 to 100%. I can't remember what it is, but it's not 85. I drive almost full. And you start to understand that we're a bit closer to the road, first of all, with these kinds of cars. And we're actually a bit closer to the car, right? Um, yes, so Peter just said, is it me or the whole car is shaking? Yes, the car was shaking. Not kidding. It was shaking. And if you are watching the Instagram, you would have seen me literally, the car was shaking me, you know. So that is intense. I'm going to dial down the force feedback a little bit more. And that it shocks me that you have to do that, right? I find it really, really surprising that in on a 5.5 Newton meter wheel, um, I can't cope with, definitely can't cope with it with 100%. I can't cope with 85%. So let's go for 60. Let's see if that will. Let's really, really drop this thing so that we can actually drive this thing and actually feel like, okay, we know what we're doing here. Okay, and let's back up and resume. Okay. Hey. Honestly, that guy, I lost concentration there. Scared me as he went past. Okay, so the car feels a lot more. Ah. So the car feels a lot more drivable. But there's still a whole lot of rumble coming from the car into the wheel. See there again? Skipped on a patch of bad road, and the car just lost traction. Okay, so I think it's obvious that Le Mans racing or hypercar, Le Mans hypercar racing is a totally different ball game. If you've been racing GT3, you've been racing even Formula One, right? We play Formula One 24, 23, Formula 1 22. We played these sims and we get the feedback in the wheel. You're not racing yet. Honestly, from what I've seen, I'm not the best racer, right? I do have moments when I'm racing in GT3 where I completely look like a novice, even though I've been doing this for a while. But it's a lot more intense. The car, you feel a lot more. And the force feedback wheel is really, really working hard. because it's transferring so much to you. And honestly, if you don't know the track and you don't know where the potholes, I will call them, because I can't see anything, I won't call them potholes. If you don't know where the bumps on the track are and you go over something, you will lose the car. So there's a lot of track knowledge that needs to come in. There's a lot of, as for real.aep said, amazing how now imagine what it feels like in the actual car. Yeah, you actually start to feel what it's like in the actual car. And if you want to take this sort of thing seriously, yes, actually first go and lift some weights first, and then come back and just start to learn the track, learn the car. It's not easy. It's very difficult. And I keep saying it, this is why this is not a game. Right? This is why it's not a game. Gamers don't like sim racing because sim racing requires you to understand cars, racing, right? How it really works, right? And then you come and simulate it. That's why it's called simulation racing. You come and simulate it. Yes, thank God for gaming. We are able to experience these things on relatively cheap platforms, but it's very, very hard. It's not a game. It's very real. I'm enjoying it, but I'm a bit frustrated about the fact that I'm literally driving down the road and then I hit a bump that I didn't know was there, and the car just skips and just throws itself in the bin. So yeah, it's hard. It's difficult. So, but yeah, I'm just gonna resume and let's see if I can get back on the track. So you can't even. No, I think there's got to be some setup thing that I need to do because I probably need to adjust some of the cars. Some of the cars what's it called? Suspension and suspension and wheels and tires and things. Because the drivability is poor. Okay, so now I'm going to return to garage. Okay, so we've got set up here. And okay, so we've got tire management. And then you've got car setup. So radiator cover. You can take the radiator cover off. Oil radiator cover, you can take that up. Rear wing, virtual energy. And then you can go into this, I'm just going to turn this volume down. Go into advanced setup and then you're looking at your powertrain. You're looking at your wheels and brakes. Okay, so we've got compounds. First of all, I know that if you're trying to set a good time, not such a long time, not so many laps as you might get out of mediums and hards. And you can also you've got some medium hard and you've got your brake bias, brake vibration, maximum pedal force. Okay, so how are you going to adjust all of these first thing, right, about cars? Get drunk. Don't understand the first thing about cars. How are you going to find it? Even me, when I'm working with some of these things, I've never had to interact with anyone. So I'm going to have to make up, understand, and then adjust things so that I can find it, right? So all of these things are there for you to come and adjust and make it work better for you. So coming on to suspension. So you have packers. You've got to understand what the race is about. Because I don't understand what I'm looking at. You've got to go and look at this and understand, okay, how to set up a Le Mans hypercar, right? So there's a whole lot of stuff that, is new, brand new learning here. And the thing that happens for me is race because it's real, you actually start to understand more about motorsport and actually become a motorsports. No, we become somebody who partakes in motorsport and you can set up a car. The metrics that I've seen on this screen, if you can set up a car here, then there's no pit stop where you cannot have a competition. And that's crazy. What the game allows us to do, it's actually quite exciting. So for me, I know that my work is cut out. Come back here, spend more time trying to some of it I understand from racing and set up but some of it I just don't understand because I think that some of the things are particular to the moment. So left, right, third spring. What are we talking about? And then same thing for the rear. Left, right, third spring. So if you can understand all of these concepts, then you start to, when you go and watch your next Le Mans race, your next Le Mans endurance race, you start to ask yourself, So it's really exciting. It's totally exciting. For me, yes, like you said, new learning, new chapter for me that I got to go and study as if I didn't have it. So these are things that see in a certain countries. You know, just determines how your shock absorbers behave in fast undulations and slow undulations. So, for instance, what I experienced with the car literally losing control at high speed, I would have to change that fast bump, right? And I think the higher numbers are more stiff, and if you have stiff suspension in the front, the moment you hit something, because the suspension is not compressing or extending, because it's stiff, the car itself. Circumstances should go front suspension with this hard. You know, you need it to be a bit softer. So like what these are your steering wheels. You need to have your front suspension a bit softer and your rear suspension that's really you need to try and control a bit more. That needs to be harder. We have the exact opposite here. So these are things that somebody needs to settle down. As time goes on, as time goes on, you will find set up videos on YouTube where they tell you how to set cars off. Let's look at chassis and aero. So chassis modifications, and then your rear wheel is your only aero option that you can modify. So there appears to be less stuff. Okay, so you have front diffuser, but there are no brake ducts here. I would imagine those, so that you have to change the rear diffuser. Let's do this. Let's talk this fast. Let's put that down to 4. Let's set this up to 8. Let's Okay, so let's start driving. And let's see if there's an immediate change in drivability. I don't know. Let's see. So, you know, it's so funny. The car is a hybrid. car is a hybrid, and so there's no engine sound until you get to high speed. And if you've driven a hybrid before, you will know that you had time when you switched the car and you had no idea that I had that in the system. And okay, so obviously I need to be breaking a lot soon. Yeah, I should now. Drivability is really, really rubbish. So I'm wondering if there are other elements that I need to change, or if it's just something you get used the amount of concentration that is required. Oh my goodness. Really intense. Really, really intense. Oh, the AI is pretty. They are basically telling me that okay, come on for the road. The drive is time. Where you from? So yeah. I mean, I'm turning and it's just going straight into the barrier. So obviously there's there are a number of things I'm gonna have to work on. I think I'll give my first impressions, and I'll give my first impressions. For me, what I would like to do next, and then I'll call it a night. I mean, my first impressions are that it looks good. You know, the visuals are nice. You know, you can see crisp details. You know, everything. It looks like an advanced simulator. There are some simulators that I've raced in. Even so, don't know how much you know about Le Mans Ultimate. It's built on the same engine as R Factor 2, because it's the same. It looks a lot better than R Factor 2 by a country mile actually. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I observed is that the driving experience is pretty realistic. If it was possible to say too realistic, then I would say too realistic because, you know, while okay, so for people who want this to be a game, you will find it too realistic. Now, I don't want it to be a game. I would like it to be as real as it can be, and I would like to, in my position, have to get to grips with how to handle the cars. Um, because if it's gonna have any fidelity about it, it has to be real, right? So if you just want a game, you will find this very difficult. I think driving the hypercars. Um, so that's something that needs to be considered. The force feedback, I can only assume that it is really good because of how intense it is and how on my toes the little driving that I've done has kept me. You know, it's really. I mean, my heart rate is already up a bit, and I haven't done anything. I just pottered around the track and not really done much. But it's almost scary actually, you know. And the point at which I hit an undulation in the road and the car literally lost control. That's exciting, and you know, you your heart will be like, hey, what happened? You know. So that realism that's really nice. Um, and I think that's what you want. The sounds are also good. I think there's a lot of immersion. You know, I can only imagine when this thing goes to VR, you have your headset on. If you use the Oculus Quest 2, where the speakers are just by your temples, and it makes you feel as though the sound is coming from inside your brain, you just get lost for hours. You know, it's very immersive. Um, what else? I think my wheel handled it really well. I wonder what it will be like on an older G29, G923, um, T 150. My son has a T 150. I might pull it off and try it out, but then it's a lot of hassle because of the dashboard, and you know, so maybe I would try it out. But it's quite the Moza R5 handles it pretty well. The force feedback, you'll have to dial it down in the beginning. Maybe dial it down to 40 or 50%. So you get used to it first, and then start to dial it back up and build your strength, build your experience of the simulator, and yeah, start to turn the numbers back up so that you can get closer to what is real. Um, what else? For me, that's it. I mean, I'm not gonna go into comparing cars or anything because I haven't done that. I've enjoyed the little that I've done here today. Um, I would like to see if it is possible to do short races, even though Le Mans is about endurance racing. Yes, I would like to see what it's like to do short race, if it's possible to do shorter races, and races where you can just get on track and just have some fun and just throw a car about and you know just enjoy it without doing 12-hour races because that's what I was offered when I started racing. I think there's a large range of cars. I think it's really good. All the cars from the last year of Le Mans are on the title. It's possible that legacy cars from back in the day, as old as Le Mans, as far back as Le Mans goes, will be added, and it's interesting to see what we're going to get after this from Le Mans Ultimate. So for me, what I would like to do from here now is go and look at how to set up a Le Mans hypercar. I think it's very important that we understand these things, right? And the people who are running, um, the people who have more knowledge of these things and are able to quickly put together how to videos on how to set up a hypercar suspension to make it more drivable, to make it good for beginners, to make it good for intermediates, and to make it also uh, good for driving on the edge. I beg your pardon. Those people who are able to make those videos, those are the ones that are going to, get the most hits. I think they are the ones that are going to excite many people, um, because you've got to get to grips with the theory of how these cars work so that you can set them up and you can fine tune little bits and pieces and make your car more drivable. The little that I did there on that front suspension, I could actually already feel it that the car was not as, you know, intense as it was before. But then I've also got to figure out how to manage my rear wheel spin so that I'm not losing the back end. All of these things are hard. All of these are difficult concepts that we need to get to grips with. So I've got to learn some of those things so I can modify the the setups, and really just got to get used to driving hypercars like this, you know, and that only comes with practice. So we've got to try and see how that works. Okay. Um, Thank you for watching. If you've stayed with me throughout this broadcast, questions, messages, please throw them at us. You can find us on Instagram, which is where we are live now. We're also on Twitter, now known as X. God knows I can't say X. Okay, I said X. We're on X. We're on Threads. We are on. Where else are we on? We're on Facebook, and we are also on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp community, Sim Racing Nigeria. If you want to get involved, you want to come race with us. If you want to um, join the banter, you know, come chat with us. We'd love to have you. Get on and get involved. Um, and for me, I'm going to try and be a little bit more active, present. Um, Sim Racing NG handle. We'll try and get a lot more content out, content that is our own. We have enough racers, enough people that are racing to generate some what's the word now? Some genuine content, stuff that comes from us, not stuff that we've picked up around on the internet. We've got enough people to do that. So we're going to be doing that. If you want to get your content onto Sim Racing Nigeria, just join the community and share your stuff. Let us know that you'd like us to feature that, and we string some videos together and put them out there, and you know we have fun together. So for now, I'm gonna call it a night. I guess you can hold me to a few things. Try to be more present on the socials. Try to show more content and get to grips with how to set up a Le Mans hypercar and put in the practice. So you can hold me to those four things. And if I'm not practicing and I'm not posting, then you can take me out back and teach me a few lessons. But yeah, I think this title is exciting when you figure out how to race and um, race competitively in this sort of title. I think then you feel like yes, I've arrived in motorsport. I think if you can get the title now, it's £25. Yes, I know country hard for Nigeria. I understand that, but if you can get it, I suggest you do, because as features are added to Le Mans Ultimate, the price will go up, because £25 is not what you expect to pay for a simulator of this caliber. Even what I can see now, this is not a £25 simulator. It's not. Um, as they add things to it, as they make it uh, more contemporary, with things like VR, online racing, uh, for endurance racing, driver changes, and all of those things. Once they make those things possible, the cost of the title will go up. I suspect, from what I can see here, this title will be at least £50. So £25 is a snip, right? But don't quote me. I don't know where it's going. I don't work for anybody apart from the people I work for doing battery development. Um, uh, I don't. I'm not doing any bidding for the guys that develop this motorsport games. I'm not doing any bidding for them. I'm just telling you what I think. Um, I think you should get it if you can, if you have access. Get the title, and start getting yourself to grips with some of these concepts. Start getting yourself to grips with the realism of the car, and don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to enjoy it. If it's too difficult and you're not enjoying it, maybe you have to accept that it's not for you. And then you can try the LMP2. You can also try the Le Mans GTE cars, Grand Touring endurance cars. So, all of that said, I'm glad I bought this. I'm glad I've been able to do this video. I'm glad that you've been able to stay with me throughout. I'm going to call it a night here, and I hope to see you again pretty soon. Whether it's running a bit of ACC, running a bit of Rennsport. I have a Rennsport beta key, so I can race in Rennsport. But also, Assetto Corsa Competizione, my favorite title forever. I'm trying to understand the Porsche 992 GT3R, and I'm trying to make it work. I really enjoy driving it. It's nice when you can get it around the track. It feels nice. Every other time, it's trying to kill you. But if I can really get that fixed to a T, I think that would be really, really sweet. So, I think my motorsport, my sim racing world just grew bigger today, and I'm excited for the future. Have fun the rest of your week. Hope you're not too busy. I'm super busy. I've got to do a whole lot of stuff tomorrow. I've got to travel a bit. Got the kids to run after when I get home, and they're going to be asking questions. They're going to want to see this as well. My kids race. All three of them race. They're only 8, 7, and 5. So these are their simulators here. Yeah, he's using a T150, and the other two are using cheap Hori racing wheels at the moment, just to get them started. So yeah, they're keeping me busy as well. So let's leave it there. I will do another live when I'm going racing again. Have a lovely week, and please share any questions, any comments. If you think this was rubbish, please tell me, but tell me why. Right? Don't just say it was rubbish. Tell me why you think it was rubbish, and try and fix it for the next video. Cool stuff. Nice to meet you. Well, nice to have spent the last, I think, hour or so with you. See you again sometime. Cheers. Bye-bye. So that's ended, and then we also need to end this one. I'm so sorry, the video was, my camera was not very good there. I didn't notice that. So if you're on YouTube, I'll make sure that the camera is not looking at the ceiling next time. Uh, Thank you for joining the stream. Bye bye.